we've sold thousands of lots to people willing to exchange on the day and complete within 28 days. Property auctions made quick, easy and simple. Clive Emson Land and Property Auctioneers.
Hello everybody, yes, we're back for another live show, and it's the feature lot show for the November auction, isn't it, Paul?
It is, yes, 2nd of November, next auction date. Catalogue's now live. All the lots are on our website, so you can start having a look through them there. But we're going to bring you a snapshot of the lots we've got coming up, and some real beauties you'll see as well.
We certainly do, yes. It's Ian here from the auction show, Paul Bridgman from Clive Emson Auctioneers. We've got 9 feature lots in total to bring you. We've got videos to show you, in-depth analysis almost. It's almost like a football show, this, isn't it? We're going to review them a little bit, aren't we? Now, before we do that, though, and of course we've got special guests, I must mention.
Yes,
guests coming in as well. Now, before we get into everything, please, if you have a question at any time, do comment below. We can see your comments. If you do want to find out more, if you want to see all 154 lots going under the hammer for this auction, there's a link in the body of this broadcast. It'll take you straight through to the Clive Emson website, and there you can download the catalogue, I believe, can't you?
That's right. You can download the ebook. In fact, you can even order a copy of the catalogue now. It'll be sent to you via Amazon, which is a new feature we've got now. So, but as I say, you can download it. You can see all the information that's there for all the lots. And the legal documents are starting to come through as well. So if they're not there already, you can order yourself a copy when they do come in.
Fantastic. Yes, so do head over to the website. Or if you would like to speak to somebody from Clive Emson, give us a call. Here we go. Look, there is the number. Paul, take it away.
Yeah, the number's on screen this time, so it stops me having to try and remember it, because I've been trying to say it for 7 years and I still can't remember it. Yeah. So 0345 850 0333. Give us a call. We're only too pleased to talk to you, as I say.
Yes, as we said there, here is the website as well, www.cliveemson.co.uk. But to make your life even easier, just click the link in the body of this broadcast. How easy is that? Now, before we get on to the feature lots for the November auction, there's a small matter of September. Now, September, it was a disruptive month. Unfortunately, we tragically lost Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, didn't we?
That's right, yeah.
Which we thought might have a bit of an impact, but actually, it was a pretty impressive result.
It was. I mean, there was a lot going on in a short period of time. I mean, we had a new Prime Minister, her new cabinet. We had, obviously, I said the sad passing of the Queen, the funeral, and then everything that came after that with mini budgets, talk of stamp duty holidays, which didn't materialise, but there was other amendments that came along to that as well, which, all had a sort of roll-on impact to the auction. However, I mean, you'll see the results in a minute. They were stunning results.
Well,
out of 163 lots. Let's have a look.
You've let us in perfect there. There you go.
163 lots that we had, just shy of £25 million worth of property sold and raised for our clients. A success rate of 72%. Now, that's a true 72%. That's not some lots being withdrawn because there was no interest, and I'm not suggesting other auctioneers do that, but maybe they do. Don't get myself in trouble, Paul. But as I said, so that's a true reflection of the auction, and you can see there we had over 70,000 people visit the website over the 3 days of the auction. 78,000, in fact, it was. And that was from 36 different countries around the globe. So, as I say, it really is a global event. And on the last day alone, we had over 26,500 people on the website watching the auction and taking part. So that was a real stunning day.
I think they must have watched this auction show.
Well, that's what they did. Yes,
I think that's what it is. It is very important, of course. Right now, one thing that really stole my eye was the most popular lot in September. Now, this is quite incredible. Let's just put the graphic on screen and talk us through this.
So, it was one we actually featured on the show as well. I think Tom joined us from the West Country office and had a very an attractive guide price there at 60 to 80,000. But there's the result. 146 bids later, sold for £246,672. The £72 is important because that might have just pushed someone over the limit. As I say, what a stunning result. And I think, if I remember rightly, that was from was it Plymouth Council or I think it was Plymouth Council or Cornwall Council who'd get us. Wouldn't be Cornwall in Devon, would it? Plymouth Council, I think, who gave us the. We have just
that
alienated half the audience. That's right. As I say, it's an absolute stunning result, and that one went on a long time after its scheduled finish time, because I say people just kept bidding and bidding and bidding. There was a lot of accommodation there, and I say hopefully there was a lot of repairs to do as well. But I say what a fantastic result.
Now you said it went on longer than its actual time. Talk us through that. How does the auction actually work?
Yeah, as I say, it's an online auction, so we obviously all the lots are live now. People can look at them, go view, look at the legal packs, etc., and get all the advice you need, whether that be legal advice or whether that be structural reports or surveys or etc., etc. And then we come to the auction week. All the lots go live for bidding, and you'll see more from us as we get closer to the auction, when we announce all the lots are live on Monday, the 31st of October.
Halloween,
yes, Halloween. Yeah. I hope you're going to be wearing your mask.
I already am.
Yeah. Walk straight into that one, yes. No, all the lots will go live for bidding that day, around about midday. And then we've got 3 days, the Monday, Tuesday, and then the actual day the auction finishes on Wednesday, the 2nd of November. Now, from 11 o'clock, lot 1 will finish then. And then every 3 minutes, the next lot will be on. So it'll be lot 2 at 3 minutes past, lot 3 will be at 6 minutes past, etc., etc. And that will continue through the day. Only slight change to that is if someone bids in the last 5 minutes of the timer counting down to 0, then the time will extend by 5 minutes to give everybody fair chance to come back in and make their bid. So say, for example, you're the highest bidder, and with 10 seconds to go, someone puts in a higher bid. Unlike eBay, you're not got panic and think, oh, what do I do now? You've got 5 minutes. The timer will all reset. Everyone's got fair chance to make an informed decision about what they would like to bid and if they'd like to increase. Now, if you want to get involved nice and early, you can set up proxy bids, and that will bid automatically for you up to a set level. But all the information again is on our website. Have a look, have a read through. If you've got any questions, pick up the phone and ask us.
Absolutely. That number, once again, if you do want to pick up the phone, give us a call. It is on your screen right now.
That's right, yeah.
0345. Sorry.
I'll let you do it. No, you do it.
I really wanted to do it. I just really wanted to do it. 0345 8500 333. There you go. I just wanted to do it once. That's it. I just wanted to do it once. And the website, again, there it is on your screen as well, www.cliveemson.co.uk. And just to make your life easier, remember, just click the link in the body of this broadcast. It's already there for you. Takes you straight through to the website. Make sure you check out all 154 lots going under the hammer. Now, I am going to change things up a little bit, Paul, so apologies about that. We were going to go through your 5 golden rules. We will do that, but I think we'll do that a little bit later. Okay. I think people might want to get into and see the first feature
that's what we're here for.
That we've got. We are going to have guests on a little bit later, but this is one that you're going to take us through, aren't you? It's lot 6, 89 Mill Street. We're heading to the seaside. We're heading to Clacton. In fact, not far from here. We're in Chelmsford right now.
That's right, yeah.
Aren't we? So shall we take a little look at this property?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, there we go. Look, lot 6 there. If you like the colour blue, it's probably for you. Paul, take us through that one.
It is, yeah. Fits in nice with the background, doesn't it?
It does,
And no, I say it's St Osyth. It's nice little village, northeast Essex, up near Clacton, about 5 miles from Clacton. So it's got a few sort of holiday resorts, up that way, and there's the beach and the waterfront. As you can see from the video there, that probably its nicest part about it is the location.
Yeah.
Right opposite the lake, Milldown Lake, I think it's called, and the water sports and everything on there. It's certainly good fun. I've been and had a go on some of the water sports. They are.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'll fall off anything, me, you know that. It's a really nice little cottage, 2-bedroom cottage, sort of red brick, and it's got a little garden at the back. Needs some love, needs some attention. Yes, of course it does. But in terms of if that's the lifestyle you're looking for, in terms of a nice sort of quiet spot, there's local shops and that sort of thing in the village. But say further supermarkets, high street shopping, and sort of transportation links all available from Clacton. In fact, there's a service into London, Liverpool Street as well. It's a nice little spot, and say on a lovely sunny day as it was there, beautiful blue skies, looking across to the water. It looked very nice.
It does look very nice. So there is obviously the hero image. I take it you don't get that white BMW with it either.
No, I think the owner will shoot us if we suggest that's come with us. But no, obviously the car's not included. But no, as I say, there is permit parking at the front. I think there's unrestricted parking further up the road, but you say just apply to the council for a permit. So at least you've got your space there.
And guide price on this one, Paul?
Guide price was 120,000. So let's say not a huge amount of money in the current market. Yes, obviously there's work to do in terms of bringing it up to a good modern standard. Next door have done a fantastic job with their cottage, or mirror image.
You can see actually, can't you? Yeah, if you just zoom in, look at that. You can always tell by a door, can't you?
You can, yeah, and they've extended out the back as well. And as I say, they've done a really, really beautiful job with that one. So it just shows what this could be, and I think it will be fantastic when someone's finished the project on it.
Yes, I certainly think so. Now, it's a good start, isn't it? It's a nice one to see that so early on. And one thing we're seeing at the minute is, you said to me a few weeks ago, perhaps this isn't going to be the busiest auction. However, 154 lots.
Yeah, that's right.
Things are changing. Is auction becoming a more popular way, shall we say, of selling property?
Yeah, I mean, historically, 10, 15 years ago, prior to that, even when I got involved in auctions, we sold cheap repossessions to property dealers. That was pretty much what the auctions were all about. And I think a lot of people were very wary of going to auction because they thought it was almost the dark arts of the property world. The biggest change in the market, I think, has been Homes Under the Hammer. Over the last 10, 15 years, they've put auctions in people's front room, so everyone understands it now. Buyers understand what the process is, what they've got to do to get themselves in a position to buy. Sellers like the speed, they like the transparency, they like the immediate results. So because of that, I think the popularity of auction has definitely grown. And as I say, yes, nowadays we've seen very, very few repossessions in the market. A lot of what we have are very good residential, commercial properties and land as well, of course, that people are looking for an almost like immediate result on. So it may be a probate sale, it may be they're moving abroad, they've got a rental that's gone bad, and they just want to get it sold. And more often the circumstance drives the property going to auction than the actual property itself. Does that make sense? Because a lot of people think it's all distressed property and property in really poor condition. And it's not necessarily the case.
Well, let's touch on that, because that's important as well. You think auction, you think it's just full of property developers looking to get a steal here, but that's not the case, is it? It's open for everybody.
It is, yeah. It is what they call it. It's a public auction, so anyone's welcome to come and bid. Obviously you've got to do all your due diligence and make sure you know what you're buying, and got the funding in place, whether that be cash funds or whether it be a borrowing. Because again, a lot of the high street lenders are much more switched on to auctions now than they ever used to be. Yes, there are time constraints, but it can be done. I'm never going to say to someone, no, you can't get a mortgage at auction, because I've seen it done. So yes, you have to keep on top of the lender. You have to keep telling them you need results within a time scale in order to enable you to bid. Because we always recommend that you have a full written mortgage offer on a property before you actually come and bid. Because, as I say, on the day of the auction, the drop of that gavel or the time of getting to zero is an exchange of contracts, and you're legally bound to buy the property at that point.
I guess it's just like buying a normal house, then, actually, isn't it? You need that mortgage offer
before
you can move forward.
That's right.
Well, that's you've led me very nicely into what we're going to have a look at now. For those people who are tuning in and are might be completely new to auctioning, never really considered it before, but might want to give it a go, or if you have done it before but just want a bit of a refresh, Paul, you've recorded a nice little video, haven't you? Your 5 golden rules of bidding, what to do to make sure you do it properly.
That's right,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's hear from you and let's have a look.
Hello, my name's Paul from Clive Emson Property Auctioneers. We're often asked what are our tips for buying property at auction. So these are our 5 golden rules that you should follow if you're looking to buy a property at auction from ourselves or anybody else. First thing, obviously have a look at the website, the auction catalogue, and find all the information on the properties that you're interested in. So download as much information as you can, read up on it, look at the areas, etc. Next thing to look at is the legal documents. Request a copy of the legal documents for the properties that you're interested in. You'll be able to see the title, the information on lease information, searches, etc., etc., and get your own legal advice on this information. The information is there, nothing should be hidden, it should be the most open and transparent way of buying property, but say all the information is there for you to take to your solicitor and get your own legal advice on. Obviously, go and view the property as well. You need to inspect the property. Take with you someone that you trust. Get their opinion if needs be, and get an idea as to what state the property's in, what work you need to do, and really sort of build a picture for yourself as to what you can afford then to do yourself, and get other tradespeople in to do for you. Do you require a survey? If you do, then you're within your rights to get a survey done before the auction. You can arrange that with ourselves, get the surveyor to contact us, we can arrange access for them. That may be for your own personal use, your own peace of mind. It may be for lending criteria as well. So you can get mortgage funding, so they can arrange a survey with ourselves, and so we can allow them access to do that. Know the costs is another very important point. You need to not only know what it's going to cost you to buy the property. Of course, yes, you need to know what you're going to be spending on it and know you've got the funds available for that. But what's it going to cost you to do the property up? What are the service charges? What are the council tax implications? All these things build the picture. So it really is up to you to find out all the costs. The other thing is, in the legal pack, look in the special conditions of sale, because quite often there may be costs associated that are passed on to the buyer as well. So look in there and say that none of that information is hidden, it's all there for you to see. So it shouldn't come as a surprise, but let's say make sure you read that information and you'll see it all there laid out for you. But let's say know what you can do yourself when sort of adding up the costs. Can you fit your own bathrooms? Can you fit your own kitchens? All those sort of things. If not, you need to allocate costs for that. And as I say, service charge, ground rent, when you're looking at rental portfolios, when you're looking at obviously renting your own properties out, these things need to be taken into account as well. So once you've done that, you've found the details of the properties you want to buy, you've looked at the legals, you've considered whether you need a survey, you've been through all the costs. Last thing to do is not panic. The bidding goes live a couple of days before the auction finishes. You just need to then log on, register yourself to bid by entering your credit card details, debit card details, your ID information and your solicitor's details, and of course all your own personal information. Once you've got the 3 green ticks, you're ready to bid, and you just need to stay calm, watch it right up to the last. You can sort out proxy bidding as well, but all that information is on the website. And then, as I say, stay calm, bid, and wish you luck, and hope you then are able to buy what you want. If you have any further questions, please do give the office a ring. We'll be only too pleased to talk you through the process, what you need to do, how to register, and of course if you want to book viewings and download legal packs too. thanks ever so much. I hope this information's been helpful. Like I say, please do drop us an email, give us a call. We're only too pleased to help. Thank you.
Right, there we go. Yes, that was your 5 golden rules of bidding there, Paul. Very, very important, of course, isn't it, to get these things right. And as we said, the good thing about Clive Emson is it is transparent, and it has to be, hasn't it? There's no messing around with this type of thing.
No, that's right. We're trusted by sellers and by buyers alike. The information that we give people is the correct way of doing things, and people don't tend to mess with the process because, as I say, they know we're doing it the right way.
Absolutely. Now, our first guest is actually in the studio now, in the back end, and I'm a little bit starstruck actually here, Paul, because I understand our next guest, Audrey Smith, has been a bit of a star on TV recently. Is that right? Is that fair to say?
Well, let's bring her in and ask her.
Can I have your autograph, please?
Of course you can. Of course you can. And hi, how you doing?
Not bad, you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you.
Are you doing signed photographs and DVDs and that sort of thing now, Audrey?
Of course I am. A minimal charge. Minimal charge.
So roll them off. What have you been doing recently?
I did the Homes Under for a little flat. It was a tiny little flat in Launceston, but it was one of Dave's actually, but he wasn't around, so I went and did the meet and greet and all the rest of that with them. But it was great. Yeah, they're good fun, aren't they, to work with?
Brilliant. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Good.
Right, now we're going to have a look at the feature lot we've got for you. It's lot 126, bundles in Axminster down in Devon. So let's have a little look at the video, and then Audrey will ask you to talk us through it.
Okay.
Tropsol.
Right, here we go. We are back. Audrey, a little struggling with the door a bit there.
I know, I was just saying that in the office. You have actually missed out a whole upstairs. So there's 2 staircases. We went up and saw one half of it, but you cut it off, and there's a whole other staircase to another upstairs area. So that's one of the things with this. I think originally it was 2 cottages, and it's been used as one, as a holiday, or the intention was as a holiday home, so 2 families could use the 2 separate areas. It screams to me that it could be made back into 2 cottages, obviously with the correct, you know, the
subject
correct
to consents and all that sort of thing. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
that's it.
There it is. It's
but I mean, so we've just
fantastic,
seen one upstairs. There's another upstairs area as well.
Yeah.
Access via a separate staircase. So.
Yeah, no, it's a lovely looking building.
Oh, really pretty. It's a really nice location as well. You're about under 3 miles.
Tell us about the location. I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of near Axminster, which is a bit of a market town, and it's not too far away from Seaton, which is where you've got the seafront and that sort of thing. So really, if anybody was looking for, well, either a family home or to split it and invest for holiday home, it would be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But you know, it's one of those things. There's plenty of parking there, nice garden, enough room to be able to split it off 2 areas as well, or just a fabulous, you know, I'd sort of make it into one upstairs area and get rid of one of the staircases actually. But no, it's lovely. I just thought I'd go for something a bit pretty this time, so there you go.
Yeah, that's it.
What's the guide price on this, Audrey?
That one's 240 to 260.
Okay, so lots of opportunity there, isn't there? I think
definitely.
It really has that sort of curb appeal, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely, and also, you know, you've got a car park area as well as the garden. There's an outside store as well, so I think it's got an awful lot of potential. Actually, it's also I've just had a look. Actually, it's on the 40-mile route walk of East Devon. So it's the Axe Valley, so it's in a great location, and I even got a blue sky day for it as well.
You did, yes, yeah.
Look at that.
we were saying that was the last one we featured in Essex. That the photographs and the video, it was such a gorgeous day when I took the video.
I know. It should be on a tin of biscuits, shouldn't it?
Feature of this auction. I think we've had some lovely blue skies.
Yeah, definitely. I have got one actually in Wales, and it was a long way to go, and it rained. And did it rain? So I think that's the one property in the whole of the catalogue that's got the rainy day picture, but it's still a good one there. But so this one, I think really we're going for very prettiness. It's still got quite a bit of work to do, but it's definitely got potential.
Yeah, brilliant. So obviously we had you joined us for the last auction as well.
Yes.
How did your one do in the last auction?
Oh, really good. Yes. The actual office down here in the southwest did incredibly well. I think we had one property in the whole auction that didn't actually go.
Oh, fantastic!
So,
we were talking about the results earlier.
Really...
The one Tom had, the one in Plymouth. Was the most had the most bids on it. So
it was it did.
It was a really good result on that one.
No, it was a good auction. Well, I think it was across the board, but particularly down here in the southwest. So we're just hoping that the same thing's going to happen again this time. Please.
Exactly, same. More of the same, please. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're not going to ask me what biscuits or anything this time?
Oh, even worse this time. As we know, Audrey, we like to get to know the people behind Clive Emson Auctioneers. And we've got a question for you this time. And it is, if you could have a dinner party, you can have 3 guests, past or present.
Oh, no.
Past anybody, alive or dead. Who's it going to be? 3 guests. You can invite me. I can come for dinner.
No, it's no.
Not yet. No, sorry, not this time. Probably I would have somebody like David Attenborough. Because I mean he's got plenty to talk about, hasn't he? I would probably have somebody like Joanna Lumley. I quite enjoy listening to her. And who would I have as my third guest?
Someone who's not going to say much, I think.
Pardon?
Someone who's not going to say much, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. A listener I need, don't I, really? Don't know very many people like that. Perhaps Dave in the office. He's a good listener, isn't he? He's quiet.
He's a good chat, yeah. There you go, Dave. You've got yourself an invitation.
Yeah. No, I don't know who I'd have as my third guest. Probably somebody. So what have we done? We've done a bit of theatre and... Oh, I honestly don't know. Honestly, wouldn't know.
We'll say Dave.
Yeah, we'll say Dave. I think I'll listen to who everybody else says all day long, and I'll be going, oh yes, that's who.
Oh,
that's
of course, yeah. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah.
Never thought of them. So yeah. So well, good luck for the day. I think it looks like with the catalogue, it's going to be quite a nice day. We've got a lot of nice properties.
Yeah, we've got some really good ones to feature. So no, thanks for joining us, Audrey.
Audrey, we do appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, nice
you're
to see you
regular on the show now, regular on TV as well. She's a bit of a celebrity, Audrey, isn't she?
Yeah.
I know.
If you could just send the autograph in the post, that would be fantastic.
That's absolutely fine. I'll do that, no problem, just for a small fee. Okay.
Oh, the small fee. Yeah, thanks, Audrey. Yeah.
Thanks, Audrey.
Take care.
Bye. It's so nice to see, isn't it? And here, we've got more guests coming up as well.
We have, yeah, absolutely.
Of the afternoon. In fact, the next guest, I believe, is waiting in the wings. And looks like, have we got Richard? We've got Richard, it looks like. Oh, no, Kevin Gilbert. So we do have Kevin. Richard's waiting there as well, but Kevin's in as well. He's our next guest. He's actually going to talk us through 3 of our feature lots. So we'll bring him in very shortly. Let's take a look at his first one that we've got. It's lot 25, isn't it? It's Poultry House. Yep. We're heading back to the West Country. We're heading towards Cornwall, Penzance. In fact, you couldn't get any further away, could you? I don't think there. So this is going to be lot 25, Poultry House. Let's take a look at this. Right, there we go. We are back, and we're joined by Kevin Gilbert as well. And Kevin, that's quite an eye-catching lot there, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. It's very aesthetically pleasing to the eye, as they say. Yeah, no, I'm very good. Yeah, very good. Hectic morning this morning, running around like a lost steady chicken. But this one has come to us from a corporate client, occupied for many years with one of the old style statutory tenants, and has now come vacant, and so the company decided to sell. But it's such a lovely looking building, and of course you've got the outbuildings at the back as well, which so many people these days are working from home. That there may be the potential to do something along those lines with those outbuildings, subject, of course, to all the necessary consents.
Of course, yes.
And a very nice Arga in the kitchen.
Sorry?
And a very nice Arga in the kitchen.
A very nice Arga in the kitchen. We'll get someone to put the kettle on next time we go around.
Well,
what about the area, Kevin?
I'm not too familiar. I know where Penzance is, but it was actually a colleague of mine that did the video. It's a long way from Kent, yeah, certainly. But a colleague of mine, Katie, did the video and she inspected it. And Katie, really, I mean, she is Mrs. West Cornwall. So I would rely on Katie's experience and knowledge of the area over mine.
That's it. And there is much more information obviously available on the website. And when the legal pack comes in, that will obviously be added to the website too.
Indeed.
So please do have a look at that. But in the meantime, if you want to book a viewing, you can go to the website and book in for one of the viewings. Or say, if you want to get more information, pick up the phone, speak to the office and down in the West Country, and to say they'll be able to give us give you far more information about the property.
You know what I'm like?
Yeah, it's funny. Every single one so far that we've featured has gorgeous sunny days and beautiful blue skies.
Well, funnily enough, we do have beautiful sunny days in England. We can pick the rainy ones as well.
Nowhere better to go when the sun shines.
Quite right. You know that I'm full of useless information.
Come on, then. Here's for some.
The reason why I mentioned Arga is that Arga was originally designed and built in Sweden. And then it was built under license in the UK in the 1930s. And if you are fortunate enough to go to Ironbridge in Shropshire, there was an inventor in Ironbridge. In fact, it was Coalbrookdale, and his name was Abraham Darby, and he was well known in the area for iron smelting. And if you are really lucky enough to go to Ironbridge, there is the first iron bridge spanning the River Severn in the world, and that was built in 1779. I'm full of useless facts.
I went on a geography field trip to Ironbridge.
Do you know what? I want Kevin at my dinner party. That's what I want. Kevin, you're invited round for dinner.
Excellent.
He can't cook.
He can't cook. It's a takeaway.
Available.
Yeah.
Right, Kevin, you've got a couple of properties as well. Should we have a look at the next one as well? Lot number 30, 45A Dover Road. We're staying a bit closer to home for you now. We're staying in Kent, aren't we? Should we have a little look at this one? That's very quaint, isn't it? Barbers, I see.
Indeed. Yeah, it's just it's located just off of Dover Road. It's one of the main roads that are sort of coming out the creative quarter area of Folkestone, sort of going up out of Folkestone, just on the left-hand side, sort of fronting St John's or St John's Street.
Are you guys?
I thought you were going to.
I need a haircut here or something. Or
no, yeah. I was expecting you to come across with a here's a little snippet, or you hair today.
I was coming in with that one in a minute, Kevin. I was just going to. You teed me up beautifully. What's the guide price, Kevin?
Well, the guide price is a snip at 50 to 52,000.
There you go.
For the freehold. We're not going to go down any jokes, are we?
No, let's not start telling jokes because we'll get ourselves off air very quickly.
No. I mean, although all jokes aside, and I know we often sort of have various jokes sort of in the office about some of the lots that that we have, not sort of derogatory, but just sort of jokes about hairdressers and sort of we featured, I think, in one of the previous videos the former campsite over in Bethersden, which was again a bit of fun. But all jokes aside, on this one, I could see somebody coming in here and carrying on a barber's business. But equally, if somebody does want to work away from home, this could be a great little office for somebody. With its own front door, toilet, toilet, and a little sort of kitchenette as well. So I think it has lots of. And yes, it just could be for all sorts of different reasons. And of course, you've already got the red and white sign there. So blood and bandages. Blood
and bandages. You heard about when I tried to cut my own hair.
No, go on. Please tell the audience.
Blood and bandages.
I was wondering why there's a big gap missing out the back here.
Yeah, that was the Union flag.
Anyway, as you know, Kevin, people like to get to know us all a bit on these shows as well. So we've got a couple of questions for you before we go into the next video. So we asked on the last show we did a few of the staff a few questions, and just carrying on that theme really. So what's your favourite holiday destination?
Anywhere where there's a Disney cruise involved.
Anywhere where there's a what, sorry?
Anywhere where there is a Disney cruise involved.
A Disney cruise.
Disney, okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Favourite place in the UK?
That's a difficult one, that. I think it would have to be the Cotswolds.
The Cotswolds, yeah, very nice.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice area.
Part of the Cotswolds?
No, just the Cotswolds in general. I think it's very beautiful. Lots of decent walks. It's just a very nice part of the world. Either that or South Wales. I like South Wales as well. Yeah.
Okay. No problem at all. Favourite drink?
That would have to be brandy.
Brandy?
A decent brandy.
First car.
Where's this going, Paul?
Nowhere. It's just a bit of fun and people like hearing it. So
it is live.
What was the last question?
First car.
It's a classic now. It wasn't then. It was a Austin Allegro 1.5 special with a square steering wheel. That was my first car. Wow. In Tundra Green.
That is a classic.
It is a classic.
Favourite food?
Japanese.
Your hero, whether that be sporting, film, music?
I love music, and I think my hero would have to be Kate Bush.
Kate Bush? Yeah.
Kate Bush.
Favourite film?
Oh, blimey. Could have given me some warning, Paul. Favourite
this
film.
is exactly why we go.
I think favourite film would have to be Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Okay. The most famous person you've ever met.
Didn't quite meet her. I came within about 10 feet of her, and that would be the Queen.
Wow, really?
Many years ago. It was about 10 foot. I was about 10 foot away.
Oh,
yeah, very dainty lady. Very polite. Very polite.
Very polite. Yeah, wonderful. Favorite TV program?
Homes Under the Hammer, obviously.
Oh, there you go. The star of Impact. And last one for you, Kevin. Your favourite biscuit? It's a classic.
Favourite biscuit? Oh,
yeah.
It would have to be, I think, a dark chocolate hobnob.
Good shout.
Chocolate hobnobs are, I think, probably quite high up on the list of most people. Yeah. So there you go. Well, let's get back to the professional side of this, shall we?
Which bit is that?
It's not you and me. Let's have a look at the last one, Kevin.
Yeah, that gives a good flavour of the type of property that one is. Great auction lot, though.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it looks a beauty. Yeah. So there's plenty out the back as well, a storage shed and things in the garden too.
Yeah, a bit overgrown, but I'm sure whoever does buy this will come in and put some magic back in the garden, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's it. But it's good to show something like that, because I mean, quite often we feature the sort of spectacular and the interesting lots, but it just goes to show it's a standard 3-bedroom semi-detached house.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And quite often people think that's not what we get at auction. So
yeah, well, I mean, we're selling this particular one on behalf of executors. So the executors need to show that they've demonstrated an arm's length transaction, and that's why they decided to, place the property into auction. And it was on the recommendation of a local agent, and we're working in conjunction with that local agent. But yeah, it's an absolutely
for their
brilliant
recommendation.
lot. Yeah, absolutely. But a brilliant auction lot.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, we were talking about it earlier, actually, and quite often what drives a property to come to auction isn't necessarily the property itself; it's more people's circumstance. And as you just sort of reiterated there, owing to the executors and their need for an open, transparent, and arm's length sale, the auction is exactly the right route for it to go.
Yeah, yeah, and the fact that it needs improvement is an added bonus, really.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Who's the joint auctioneer, the agent that introduced it?
This is Gould Harrison. So they're a firm of agents in Ashford. We deal with them on a fairly regular basis, and they are always very supportive of us. And we work very well together.
Yeah, well, it's important to give them a shout out then, isn't it? So
yeah,
thank you very much to them. Yeah, absolutely. Right, quick question before we let you go, Kevin.
Yeah.
You got a dinner party coming up, and you've got 3 spaces at that table with you. Who are you going to invite? They can be past or present, dead or alive. You can bring them back for the day. Who are you going to have for dinner?
Cool, blimey. That's a very interesting question. Is that besides you and Ian? Then is that
That's right. Yes, yeah.
I'll do the dishes.
Well, Ian's already invited me, so it's only reciprocal, isn't it?
Thanks, Kevin.
Who would I invite? 3 people. I think Nelson Mandela. I think he would be an interesting character to listen to. David Jason.
Good.
Because I think he would tell a funny story and keep the conversation
going.
And who else would? Well, it would have to be Kate Bush, because I know she'd never come. So, but yeah, I would love to meet her. It isn't going to happen. I have been very lucky and seen her live, which there's another story behind that as well.
That's one for another day. We'll hold you to that one.
That's one for another day.
That's brilliant. Thanks ever so much, Kevin. Thanks for joining us and talking us through those lots again.
Thanks, Kevin.
And good luck to everybody who's bidding.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers, Kevin.
There we go, Kevin Gilbert. I tell you what, he could have his own show.
He could, yeah. I think most of us are starstruck by Kevin in the company, because he's just absolute gold. Every time you talk to him, he's always got a story or a little anecdote or a fact about something that you had no idea was coming.
Now, right, the next lot, I'm quite looking forward to this one, actually. It's lot 53, Stone Cottage. I guess Rob Marchant is waiting in the wings. We're going to bring him in very shortly, but I think it's probably worth having a little look at this first.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is Rob Marchant from Clive Emson and the Property Auctioneers, and we're on the outskirts of the popular and attractive village of Chale Green, towards the southern end of the island. Lovely semi-rural location, and we're here to look at Stone Cottage, which is the lovely thatched building ahead of us. Lovely location here. It's probably a little bit more rural than semi-rural. Right out in the wilds here. Stone Cottage has the benefit of vehicular access up to the side here. And as we look over the edge, we can get a better view of the actual cottage, which sits on a plot not far shy of half an acre in total. cottage needs upgrading and refurbishment, but very worthy of the improvements required, beyond which be ideal for owner occupation, weekend retreat, holiday use. Fantastic, perhaps as a commercial holiday let. So let's head on a little bit closer and have a look at what the cottage has got to offer internally. So as we head on to the top of the drive, get an idea of the lovely views. There's a lovely spot here. As we head on inside, there's this lean-to porch which has been added. Heading on through. Inside, we've got this small entrance lobby. Cloakroom. As we head on through, we've got the kitchen. As mentioned previously, there's significant upgrading and refurbishment required, but certainly the property is very worthy of those works to bring it up to modern day standards. And I would suggest it's not a bad view to have when you're in the sink here doing the washing up. As we head on through, we've got the single reception room situated at the back of the building. Presumably would have had a big fireplace at one stage. View out over the garden to the rear, we'll go down there later. So that's the ground floor accommodation.
No, okay. Right, okay. All right. Okay, lovely. Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, they have got a chap that does do, I think it's, what's the name, lead stream in Whiteley, which he said he could tack it on.
Hello, my name's Paul from Clive Emson Property Auctioneers. We're often asked what are our tips for buying property at auction. So these are our 5 golden rules that you should follow if you're looking to buy a property at auction from ourselves or anybody else. First thing, obviously have a look at the website, the auction catalogue, and find all the information on the properties that you're interested in. So download as much information as you can, read up on it, look at the areas, etc. Next thing to look at is the legal documents. Request a copy of the legal documents for the properties that you're interested in. You'll be able to see the title, the information on lease information, searches, etc., etc., and get your own legal advice on this information. The information is there, nothing should be hidden, it should be the most open and transparent way of buying property, but say all the information is there for you to take to your solicitor and get your own legal advice on. Obviously, go and view the property as well. You need to inspect the property. Take with you someone that you trust. Get their opinion if needs be, and get an idea as to what state the property's in, what work you need to do, and really sort of build a picture for yourself as to what you can afford then to do yourself, and get other tradespeople in to do for you. Do you require a survey? If you do, then you're within your rights to get a survey done before the auction. You can arrange that with ourselves, get the surveyor to contact us, we can arrange access for them. That may be for your own personal use, your own peace of mind. It may be for lending criteria as well. So you can get mortgage funding, so they can arrange a survey with ourselves, and so we can allow them access to do that. Know the costs. is another very important point. You need to not only know what it's going to cost you to buy the property. Of course, yes, you need to know what you're going to be spending on it and know you've got the funds available for that. But what's it going to cost you to do the property up? What are the service charges? What are the council tax implications? All these things build the picture. So it really is up to you to find out all the costs. The other thing is, in the legal pack, look in the special conditions of sale, because quite often there may be costs associated that are passed on to the buyer as well. So look in there and say that none of that information is hidden, it's all there for you to see. So it shouldn't come as a surprise, but let's say make sure you read that information and you'll see it all there laid out for you. But let's say know what you can do yourself. When sort of adding up the costs. Can you fit your own bathrooms? Can you fit your own kitchens? All those sort of things. If not, you need to allocate costs for that. And as I say, service charge, ground rent, when you're looking at rental portfolios, when you're looking at obviously renting your own properties out, these things need to be taken into account as well. So once you've done that, you've found the details of the properties you want to buy, you've looked at the legals, you've considered whether you need a survey, you've been through all the costs. Last thing to do is not panic. The bidding goes live a couple of days before the auction finishes. You just need to then log on, register yourself to bid by entering your credit card details, debit card details, your ID information and your solicitor's details, and of course all your own personal information. Once you've got the 3 green ticks, you're ready to bid, and you just need to stay calm, watch it right up to the last. You can sort out proxy bidding as well. But all that information is on the website, and then, as I say, stay calm, bid, and wish you luck, and hope you then are able to buy what you want. If you have any further questions, please do give the office a ring. We'll be only too pleased to talk you through the process, what you need to do, how to register, and of course if you want to book viewings and download legal packs too. Thanks ever so much. I hope this information's been helpful. Like I say, please do drop us an email, give us a call. We're only too pleased to help. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Right, welcome back. Apologies there. I think we just ran into a minor technical issue. These things do happen when you're live. Now, that was your 5 golden rules of bidding. Once again, very, very important, of course, to get those things right, because, well,
it's quite serious. Yeah, that's right.
It's quite serious, isn't it? Yes, it certainly is. Now, I'm delighted to say we do have our guest, Rob Marchand. We can now bring him in. We just saw as well lot 53. That was Stone Cottage, and Rob's going to talk us through it. Hello.
Hello guys, how are we doing?
Yeah,
you can hear us good. Excellent. How are you doing? All right?
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, all good. Thank you very much. All good.
Good.
So you
good.
went out and had a look at a beauty there, then?
It is, yeah, very nice one. The original stone cottage, if you like. It should have roses growing up the front, I think, and yeah, could have seen that on the front of a chocolate box back in the 70s and 80s. For those of us that are old enough to remember when they did things like that.
Indeed, yes, yeah, and another trip over to the Isle of Wight for you.
Well, I don't know about another, Paul. I think I practically live over there. It's,
do you own that hovercraft yet?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're running into the time of year when the hover starts to get a little bit precarious with the weather and whatever. It's
yeah, I bet.
You're going over in the summer when the sun's out, and colleagues are saying, "Oh, have a lovely time, have an ice cream and all that." But nobody seems quite so keen when it's November and it's pouring with rain and blowing a hoolie and it's bouncing around all over the place. But there we are. We all have our cross to bear, don't we?
Indeed, it's tough life, isn't it? So,
yeah,
what's the location like there? Whereabouts on the island are we?
It's out the back of the island, sort of southeast corner-ish, but I would warn anyone that's going to view it, just give yourselves a couple of minutes extra to find it, because although I'd been previously, it still took me a couple of extra minutes to find it the second time. It's one of those where the postcode covers covers an area about 25 square miles, I think, because there's so few properties
really?
out
Good
there.
Lord.
So, yeah, just allow an extra couple of minutes, and if you're stuck, look for that concrete bus stop thing out the front, which will be a good indicator, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've featured a few of your lots over the last few shows, and they've all sold really well.
Well, thanks. It's
that's all. We'll take the credit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all down to you guys. But no, this is a cracker. And in addition, I appreciate we can't show the whole of the video on every property, but this has got a lovely old stone barn at the side of it, which I think has got some scope and potential, perhaps for renovation. So if anyone wants to be restoring cars or whatever, or perhaps even look a little bit more adventurously and look at potentially. You might maybe able to get another dwelling out of that, subject, of course, as ever, to all the required consents being obtainable.
Of course.
But it's got this lovely old stone barn at the side, which was no use to the previous owner. But as I say, I suspect whoever buys it next will, or owns it next, will do something interesting with that.
Oh, that's it. We've threatened, haven't we, that to go back and have a look at some of these properties one day that people buy, and look at the finished project, because it would be fascinating to see the difference between when they buy it and the project they undertake.
Yeah, I mean, again, whether somebody's going to buy this with a view to refurbishing what's there, and perhaps it might be a fantastic place to retire to or whatever, in which case the accommodation that's there already is probably sufficient. Or, do you want to extend it and go to the time, effort and trouble of that, but potentially end up with a nice big family home. Not a cheap project to extend a thatched cottage, but well worth it. And there's plenty of space around the cottage, so you could extend front, rear, side, whatever you want to do. Again, subject to all the required consents being obtainable. But no, massive scope and potential, and a really, really good auction lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I say thanks again for joining us, Rob. I really appreciate your patience there where we had a small technical issue. But as I say, thanks for hanging on with us. But before we go, people, we've been asking everyone today, you having a dinner party? All right.
Oh, okay.
And you've got, around that table, you've got 3 spare seats. You can invite anyone, past or present. Who are you going to invite? To share that nice bottle of red. And talk about the world and how to put it right.
Beans on toast. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Blimey, talk about putting someone on the spot. Well, I guess the really cliched answer will be my grandchildren, because that would be great fun. But I guess you want something a little bit more on from there. Right. Well, definitely my musical hero, Buddy Rich. I'd bring him back from the grave and spend an evening with him. That would be fantastic. Paul Merton, definitely. Love his sense of humour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another one. I think, I mean, it might mean I got stitched by the end of the evening from laughing so much, but probably Spike Milligan as well, I think. I went to see the fantastic new play that's out about him last week. Thoroughly recommend that, called Spike, if anyone's into that kind of humour. It's doing a tour around the UK, and I mean, that man's brain was wired way differently from any of ours. I think that would make for a fun evening, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, no, that's brilliant. Thanks, Rob.
Some great guests there, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rob's obviously on the cut for takings for the theatre, so great.
Go and see it. It's well worth it.
Absolutely. Thanks ever so much, Rob.
Okay,
glad to see you
pleasure.
All the best.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. Good stuff there. That would be quite an interesting dinner party.
It wouldn't it just, yes.
I was going to say grandchildren. He probably gets to do that all the time anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah, but maybe in their future lives and what they'll go on to do, wouldn't that be fantastic? Yeah.
Right, let's move on, because we've got our next guest waiting in the wings as well. Richard Payne is in the background, just waiting to come and itching to talk to us. Richard, you've got a few minutes yet, so think about that question that you're going to be asked about the dinner party. You've got a few extra minutes to think about it, so we want a few good ones in here. Whilst we take a look at lot 121, this is something quite special as well. Reigate Hill Reservoir. Check this out. Oh, good stuff. Hi, Richard. It looked like an episode of Tomb Raider or something there at the end there with a torch out going around. It's quite unique, isn't it? A reservoir.
I've got to admit, it wasn't me that took the video. I was very relieved. I was very relieved when the owner said, "Oh, just to save you the trauma of going down that tiny little hole into that underground bunker, I've done a video for you." So I looked at it and thought, absolutely perfect. Don't have to go down there again. But it's
that's the job for me.
Yeah. It is quite a. It's a Victorian architecture. Brilliant, absolutely amazing. Still there after 100 years. Roof hasn't collapsed in. It's supposed to be completely waterproof. Can't see any cracks. Completely amazing. Real one-off.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think I've come across one of those before. So no, that looks absolutely fantastic. So tell us about the location. Whereabouts in the world are we? And
we're about a quarter of a mile from Reigate town centre. So well located, very easy to get to from the N25. Literally, you turn off the Reigate, turning off the M25, and 5 minutes you're down Reigate Hill. And it's sort of tucked behind a bank of trees. But once you're there, you've got some great panoramic views. So it's quite a lovely spot.
Oh, brilliant! No, so it certainly looks something that's something I think will generate really good interest. Whether it be from people that are looking to do something spectacular or not. I mean, it's got grand designs written all over it in some strange ways, isn't it?
I think somebody's got to have a bit of a vision for that, because unless you're anticipating Armageddon and you want somewhere to hide should should the whole place start blowing up around you, you've got to make sure that access way is slightly more accessible,
usable,
because at the moment, it needs to be made more functional. But I mean, it is the guy that bought it actually bought it off us. And hadn't realised that that's what he'd got as part of the deal, because as ever we weren't showing people. We did want to take people down there for various safety regulations, but he was delighted when he lifted the lid and saw that underneath.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
Plus, there's a little old Victorian sort of pump house where the pumping station was that unfortunately we've had to board up because it was becoming a party venue. And wasn't going down well with the locals. So
fair enough. So what's the guide price on this little gem?
32.5 to 35 on this one. So I think there's plenty of scope for potential. But I think you've got to have a pretty good idea of what you want to do there, because there could be quite a lot of work and investment in
indeed. Absolutely.
Sorting it out.
Yeah, but as I say, we do get the spectacular and the interesting lots comes up as well, don't we? I mean, we've had lift shafts and nuclear bunkers and cricket pitches, all these sort of things over the years. And so no, this is a new one on me. So no, that's thanks for talking us through it, Richard. And if anyone's got any further information, obviously there's more information will be on the website. The legal pack will be up there shortly, I hope. And as I said, in the meantime, if anyone wants any more information or to have a chat with Richard about it, please do give us a call on the usual number, the 0345 850033. Please do give us a call, and they are the numbers come up on screen as well, just underneath Richard there. So, Richard, before we let you go,
we warned you about this.
We did warn you.
I've written them down. You don't even need to talk me. You don't even need to talk me through it. Dinner party guest, I believe, is what you want. Right. Music. I want somebody musical, a comedian, and somebody from film. So I've gone for Joe Strummer from The Clash as being my sort of musical hero. I'd very much like to have a chat with him about his inspiration. Bill Hicks, comedian, a little bit edgy, very clever guy, almost beyond his sort of ahead of his time, Bill Hicks, I think. And then just to keep the wine flowing and the raucous behaviour, I've got Oliver Reed. to hold court for us. So
that's the dinner party I'm going to.
It should be an interesting and long evening, I think.
Yes, indeed.
With a few drinks in between.
Indeed. That's brilliant. Thanks ever so much, Richard. And to say, if anyone wants to know anything more about that one, please do give Richard a call. We'll be only too pleased to talk to you, I'm sure.
Thanks, Richard.
Thanks for your time. Cheers.
Thanks again.
Bye. Great stuff from Richard. He knew, didn't he? Our next guest is waiting as well. So John Rimmer, he's behind the scenes waiting right now. I'm not going to bring you in just yet, John, and gives you a few extra minutes to get your answers ready for that dinner party as well. As always, please do comment below if you have a question. We are live across YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, even LinkedIn as well. So if you have a question, please comment below. I won't be able to answer it. Paul will. And don't forget, if you do want to check out all 154 lots going under the hammer for the Clive Emson Auctioneers November auction, there is a link in the body of this broadcast that takes you straight through to the Clive Emson website. We will have another show coming up for you as well, where we'll show you all 154 lots in 60 minutes. Probably won't be 60 minutes, but
we kind of massively underestimated that one last time.
Yeah, we slightly only about 10 lots less this time, but it's still going to probably take slightly over an hour. But make sure you do tune in for that. More on that a little bit later. Right, John is waiting, isn't he? And he actually has an absolute cracker of a property. So one of our feature lots, Cuckoo's Nest. Nice little clue that, isn't it? And before we bring John in, let's take a little look at this show. Cuckoo's Nest, 88 Trinity Square, Margate in Kent. What a name that is, Cuckoo's Nest. John, hello, welcome to the Clive Emson November Feature Lot Show. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Thanks for having me back. It's lovely to see you both.
And you, yeah.
Now tell us more about Cuckoo's Nest, because it's a real eye-opener. It's a real headline act, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. I've been speaking to people who've lived in Margate for their whole life, and they've always wondered what's behind those gates. Is it a plot of land? Is it a property? And something like this, I think it's quirky, it's unusual. It's what we do best. Hard to put a value on, and I think we're all interested to see what it will achieve. Interest has certainly been there already.
Well, that's it. We were just saying it's had over 2,200 views on the website already, the video. So no doubt we're going to add to that after today's little show as well. So no, that's it's a fantastic looking lot. And as you say, auction's exactly the right thing to do, because it's one of those that is very difficult to put a value on it. And the act of auction actually will determine its value. It will be sold to the person who thinks it's worth the most.
Yeah, exactly that. I think you don't get a lot of properties in Margate like this as it is, let alone untouched for many years. It's got period features throughout, lovely kind of paneling. You don't see much of that anymore. It's a lot of what's there has been lost in time, and I think just as soon as you walk through the door, you're hit by it really, and the potential that it has is incredible.
Well, that's it. It's one of those things. It's a time capsule, but it's one of those things. What do you keep? What do you get rid of in terms of moving it forward and bringing it into the 21st century?
Yeah, I don't think you'll be keeping much, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
You never know.
Quite excited yourself, John, when you got behind those gates and got to have a little look around.
Well, after I brushed all the cobwebs off me, it was it's sometimes you walk through and Paul would tell you, we see a lot of properties that need a hell of a lot of work, but some of them, as soon as you walk in, you realise they're well worth the works, and this is definitely one. It's situated in a great spot. It's big. It's as I said, unusual, and I think people are really going to see bring it back to life, and I think that's what a lot of people want. Neighbours, and people that are inquiring about it as well.
Yeah, but I can only echo what John says about the about cobwebs. I went to one the other day. It was like my worst nightmare. New pair of shoes as well, and we were walking around around the garden, and he goes, "We were all right to go into the sheds." Climbed into these old kennels and that sort of thing. There's machinery and all sorts of. So we're climbing over all this stuff, absolutely covered from head to toe in cobwebs. And he goes, "We'll go out into the field." So I went out into the field, and there's all the sheep in the field, and there's sheep mess everywhere, and trying to pick your way through that, and then we're getting chased by the sheep because they think they're going to be fed, and they started butting us and ours.
I was wondering what that smell was here in the office today. You haven't changed your shoes yet.
You're never quite sure what you're walking into.
What you say in terms of the situations you find yourself in sometimes is funny.
Yeah, it's all part of the job, and I quite like that part of it, to be honest with you. If we're walking into stuff that's nicely refurbished all the time, exactly. I don't think I'd be in this job as long as I have been, but I really enjoy it.
Half of the fun, isn't it? But no, exactly. I'm keeping me boots in the back of the car all the time.
Yeah, you need that and a nice brush to get all the cobwebs out. You feel like things are moving in you all day, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. No, but this is a really good one. So obviously you talked us through obviously what's there and the condition and that sort of thing. But what's the guide price, John?
So it's guided at 220 to 240, which is a pretty attractive price. It's priced to sell.
Yeah.
Who knows what it's worth? I think it's the sort of thing you could ask 5 different people. They'll give you 5 different values in its current state. How much work you need to spend on it? Again, it's an unknown.
It's the price for a reason, isn't it? I mean, because there is some work to do.
Yeah, it's priced to create competition, and it's the best possible way to give it the best possible price. And I think we're going to have everyone there fighting for it on the day. This is going to be one that I'm particularly interested to see where we end up.
Yeah.
Right, we have to go back and see this one in 12 months. All right, in 12 months' time, we have to go back here and see it.
I think it's definitely one of those ones.
Not brush the cobwebs off.
Yeah, sorry, I'll be driving past, keeping an eye on it. That's for sure. Seeing what they do with it. It's not for the faint-hearted, but it's certainly going to be a beautiful place when it's done.
No, brilliant. All right. No, I say that's great. Thanks, John. And I've got to say, John did a talk at the Property Investor Show recently, and he did really well. So well done to you, John, for standing up there and talking to people about auctions. Is
everybody who works for Clive Emson a bit of a TV or speaker celebrity?
We're comfortable doing it in terms of talking. Because we know what we're talking about. Thank God we do. As I say, we were at the Property Investor Show. We had a stand there. And John did a seminar just talking to everyone about the pitfalls and the pros and cons of auctions and what to expect. And it's part of busting that myth about what auctions are. So no, it was a really good day and some really good inquiries, despite there being a train strike.
Oh God, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
But we still had some good conversations and some good inquiries out of it. So really good.
Before we let you go, John, we can't let you go yet without asking you this question. You probably heard before. When you've got a dinner party coming up, you can have 3 guests, past and present, alive, dead, you name it. Who's coming around for dinner?
3 guests. Any guests?
Yeah. Anyone. Past, present.
So just like Paul, I don't know if he's burdened you with this, but we're both Spurs fans. So I think a lot of it will be based on that.
Who? Never heard of him.
I'd like Harry Redknapp, Ledley King, and I've got to keep it Tottenham. I think I've got to keep it Tottenham. An interesting one. I'd go a bit out there, and I'd go with someone from the past. Bill Nicholson, the famous manager.
Yeah,
it's been a while since we've won trophies, so he's got to have a secret somewhere to tell us what to do.
Well, he's got to tell us the secrets.
You should have got Jose Mourinho, who would have won your trophy had he not been sacked a week before. But
we'll leave that there.
That's a whole other story. Yes. Yeah. Cheers, John. Thanks ever so much for joining us. We'll catch you soon.
No problem.
Cheers.
Thanks, Carl.
Bye, John. Thank you very much. Great stuff there. Good to see John again, of course. Remember, don't forget, you can check out every single lot going under the hammer for the Clive Emson November auction. 154 in total. We've just shown you a snippet, haven't we? I think we've shown 8 so far.
That's it, yeah.
That's it. Don't forget, head over at the phone number. In fact, I can show you the phone number. If you have a question, call us. Call us on this number.
Go on, I'll let you do it again.
0345 8500 333. Yes, I've got it in twice now. I'm so happy about that. Don't forget the website as well, www.cliveemson.co.uk. There is a link in the body of this broadcast. Wherever you're watching it, we're live across Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn. Wherever you're watching it, there's a link that takes you straight through to the Clive Emson website. Give it a click and you can download the catalogue, or you can order it yourself, can't you?
That's it, yeah, you can indeed, yes.
Right. We've done 8. We've got one more feature lot to go, and you're the special guest for this one again, aren't you, Paul?
I think people will be sick of the sight of me.
Well, I don't like to say.
Yeah.
It is flat 49, Corder House, Uxbridge, actually not too far from me. Lot 79. Let's take a look. Yeah, there we go. That is really cool. We must add as well, it's a 1-bed flat, isn't it?
It's a 1-bedroom flat, yes, yeah. So it's in Corder House at Stanley Kubrick Road. And it's obviously the old Denham Film Studios, which is a beautiful Art Deco building that's been really nicely restored and converted into apartments. And there's a further new homes complex behind it as well. But the grounds are stunning. It's got everything there. I mean, not only have you got a beautiful one-bed flat with ensuite shower room, you've got your own residence bar that can be hired, your own, I think, 30-odd seat cinema room.
We saw that on the pictures, didn't we? Yeah.
And a function party room as well, so that can be hired for the residents as well. So
is that not
absolutely
the coolest address you've ever had up
I think
for auction?
So, yeah.
Flat 49, Corder House at Stanley Cubic Road.
Yeah,
I mean, that is just the coolest thing.
And there's so much film memorabilia throughout the building, and as I said, the beautiful Art Deco features to it as well. It really is a lovely one, and we've got people lined up to be viewing that one already this week. So it's obviously we're only showing you a short snippet there in terms of the show reel of pardon the pun of photographs. So there's a full video on the website as well. To have a look at, but certainly one if you're interested. It was previously let as well. The flat was previously let at $1,300 a month.
Okay,
so I think it's probably a bit more in that as well. So it could
for a one-bed flat.
For a one-bed flat, yeah, great location. It's not far from Uxbridge. So you've also got Denham Station, which is half a mile up the road, and then you go into Uxbridge. You've got all the high street shopping and facilities there, but you've also onto the London Underground as well.
And you've got the M40 on you.
And the M40, well, the M25, all the joys that brings.
Quite a lot at the minute. For those of you stuck at the Dartford Crossing, sorry about that.
Well, I hope you're not sitting in your car watching this, but watch it later.
Watch it later.
When you get home, yes. Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Well, that's it. That's all 9 feature lots. That's the feature lot show, all but over now. As we said a few times, and it is important to keep reiterating, if you do want to see all 154 lots, head over to the Clive Emson website. As I said, there's a link in the body of this broadcast for the auction. It takes you straight through. Go and do it. Subscribe to the Clive Emson YouTube channel as well for more, and the auction show on YouTube too. Again, there is a link in the body of this broadcast to both of that. We have another show coming up as well.
Yeah, you'll see us another couple of times before the auction, hopefully. We've got a show where we're going to run through the full 154 lots. Just a quick snapshot of everything that's coming up, a quick bit of information so for people to have a look at. I'll give you a bit of a flavour of the catalogue in full. And then just before the auction goes live, you'll see us again on the 31st on Halloween, scary masks on and all. And as I say, we'll do a show then just announcing that obviously the lots are all about to go live for bidding, and you can then log on and make a start on hopefully your purchase and something that's going to, your next project, your next home. All these things are possible at auction. There's great opportunities out there.
It's a nice time. It's exciting.
It is.
I love 3 weeks or 2 weeks out from the actual bidding. It's quite an exciting time, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Because as I say, there's so much now to do for people to get to the stage where they actually want to buy. They're going to go and see the properties, as we went through on the 5 golden rules. Go and see the properties. Get your surveys done. Look at the legal documents. Get yourself ready in terms of getting your finance sorted and all that side of things, and know what you can afford to do, whether it be the refurbishment work or getting people in to do it. Be realistic with yourself. But I say, as long as you do your research, people always ask me what's the one thing I should do or 3 things I should do. When I'm buying a property, it's research. It's all about knowing what you're doing, and once you get to that point, there's nothing to be scared about auctions. It's, the most open, transparent, fun way of buying a property. So it really is there for you to take advantage of. And, there's some, as you've seen, fantastic properties coming up for auction. There always is. Stuff that doesn't appear on the open market. As I say, enjoy it.
Fantastic. This show's going to be repeated as well. So if you're watching on the repeat, hello from the future. The past wasn't that bad. Right, Paul, thanks so much for joining us. As always, time for us to head off. But make sure you do get yourself over to the Clive Emson website and check out all 154 lots. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Ian.
We've sold thousands of lots to people willing to exchange on the day and complete within 28 days. Property auctions made quick, easy and simple. Clive Emson Land and Property Auctioneers.